Okay, now we're going to look at chapter 9. This is looking at collaborating on a document. This is something that people do a lot. Each program you're going to use has a different way of doing it. Google Docs has theirs, and here Word has theirs. But it's just, kind of get you a taste of that. It's where multiple people are working on a document and you just kind of see different people's changes and if you're the author of the document, you can accept these, reject these, and just kind of work on it together. Um, this is, very common occurrence. So let's take a look at it. So right here, the first thing we're going to do is just look at the highlighter. It's a very simple first little lesson here. And so we've got policy manual open here. And again, let's pretend I have saved it as policy manual revised. And we're going to go to the beginning of the document, which is right here. I'll just go down to the actual beginning of the document. Either way would work, but I like it in there. We'll go here. We'll go to the navigation pane and we will search for pediatric general medicine. I think that, yeah, that's all we need right here. And I could have finished it out, but here it is. It's on page 2. And here we will type in this text. Chen has more information about these specialties. Okay, period in there. And shows us that we can use the highlighter. If we go to the Home tab, that's where you'll find the highlighter. It's right here. Let's just use bright green. Turn it on like that and see on the screen there how my cursor turns to a little, kind of looks like a little highlighter. Select it right there, and it turns bright green. You can hit escape to turn that off, or you can just click the highlighter again. The next thing it wants us to do is to go down to the end of the document, so Control End, and to type in check with finance to see if they have any information to add. Just put in check finance, and then again, you go up here, you want to turn it to yellow, and then you can do it like that. Or if we don't want to do it like that, and we'll undo it, is that you can just go in here, select it, and then click the highlight button. And it won't turn on the highlighter. It'll just select, or it'll just highlight the text you just typed. And that's pretty much the first part there. Now we're going to move into some of this collaboration stuff. And there is a part that is different in Word now, I believe, than in the textbook. But so we'll take a look at that. So here on Develop Your Skills W9 D2, we'll go to the Review tab. We'll go to the tracking. Here's the tracking area. And this is the dialog launcher, of course. We'll go here and we'll go down to advanced options. If you can see here, if you look on next page, there's, we want to turn this blue. If these colors are different, you can just go in and click. A lot of times it comes in as by author. Here we want it blue, and you can do red. You notice that comments in the teal is gone. That's no longer part of the program, and you don't really need it. So we'll go OK. And if you need to change the username, this is here. It should have my name in SB, which it should have your name in SB. If it doesn't, put them in there. And then there's always, if you always want to use these values, regardless of sign into Office, be whoever signed into that computer or whatever, you can check that. I'm not going to. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click OK again. And now we're basically set up that those changes will be that, if we do any insertions, they will show up in blue. We delete anything, it'll be in red. And it'll also have the name of the person doing it. In this case, it'll be your name. Okay. Adding comments to a track changes document. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to go back to the review tab, which is where we're at. We're going to go to tracking and in display for review. See this if you hover over here and it wants us to select all markup if necessary. We already have all markup chosen there. So we're going to do that. Choose review, tracking, track changes right here. Click on that. So now we're tracking them. And if necessary, display formatting marks. I do have those on. If you don't, of course, go back to the Home tab and turn them on. And then finally, review, tracking, show markup. And this will be in balloons. and go to balloons. And I have it already set here. If it doesn't, just click right there to select it. Okay. So we're going to go scroll to page 2. Let's see where we're at here. 4, 3, 2. And we're going to, in the last paragraph on the page, select referral, which we will do right here. And we will insert a new comment right here, new comment. That comment is indent to match other paragraphs. And Control Enter to post, or just click the little blue arrow here and it will post that comment. This is what would have been teal if that other option had been there. Okay. Okay, in the same paragraph, locate C appendix A, which is right here, and delete it. Okay. Let's see here, and I lost the period there, so put that period back in. Okay, but we do see out here, this is what is called a, what is it, a balloon or a bubble? A balloon. It's not really a balloon, it's just off here to the side, but that's what that balloon is. And so you can see that I went in and I deleted that that information, that text. Okay. And then we want to go through here and we want to delete some other things. I'm going to do the first one and then I'm going to pause it and do the rest of them because it's not super time consuming, but once you see it, once you've seen it, is to go in here and search for the word C. Let's click on that. Okay, and this first one here is Appendix B. We just deleted Appendix A, and now we're going to delete Appendix B through K. And so you'll just go through here, and you'll delete them. You want to make sure that you keep your spaces and periods where they need to be, and just go through. And then after you've done the first one, just go ahead and hit Next, and it will take you to, not next, but this down arrow here. This is the next arrow. Delete that, delete that space, click this down arrow to get the next one, and so on and so forth. This is where I'm going to pause it and just go through it and delete the rest of them, and I'll be right back. Okay, you can see here I've deleted Appendix K was the last thing I did, and now we're going to insert a little bit of information here, and so we're going to search for patient management procedures. Should get us there, and that's where we are. And it wants us to add in a little bit of text underneath this heading. This is another one I'm going to pause while I type it, but that's so you just put the enter right there, and you can see the formatting because I've entered and put in a new line. We're going to tab, and then I'm going to type that out. You can see as I'm adding, it's blue, and as I've deleted, it's red, like we said earlier. And now here I'm going to pause and just finish typing this up. Okay, so I've got that typed in, and now we move on to D4. So we'll save it, and we will check here for what we're doing next. We're going to review, tracking, display for review, and this is the display for review right here, and it's going to show us different ways that we can view this document. I'm going to turn off the navigation pane right there. So this will show all markup, of course. If we go to original, you'll go in here and it just puts everything back how it was before we clicked this track changes button. So if you remember, Appendix A was there, I deleted that. All the rest of the stuff is still there. This is before we did anything to it. The next thing we want to look at, well, we already had it open, is all markup. And all markup has, everything we've done. Next is simple markup. Simple markup shows up everything you've done, but it takes away these the sort of the descriptive little balloons, they call them. So we'll go here to go simple markup, and you can still see there's here, you see this red line. That will, you click that to show the track changes. But simple markup just kind of shows you where people have done the editing, but not kind of the specifics. And then we go back to no markup. And now this is the document with the changes, but with none of the markup shown. And there you go. So I'm going to go back to all markup for these. I think it'll be a little bit easier to kind of see what we're doing here. I guess it already does it if you review your changes. So we'll go to review changes, go to the top of the document. We'll put right here, and then we'll go next, right here, the change next. And this one is where I put in this text. And so we like it. And so we're going to accept it. We're going to end up accepting 3 times because there's like sort of 3 things that I did here. So we're going to accept, accept, and accept. And now that change has been accepted to the document. You know, when we as we review this, you know, we are reviewing it and we're sort of saying this is a change we want. We'll keep this change. The next little bit is about locking and unlocking training. I'm not going to do that right now because you just basically you lock it and then you really unlock it right next. But I'll show you where it's at. It's right here in lock tracking. Click there. There's the password. If you need to unlock it, you go to the same place and enter that password again. Okay, so now we've done that, and now we'll choose next. And we'll skip the comment and we'll go to where I have deleted the appendix A, and this one we're going to reject. And so that one, we reject that. Appendix A comes back. It's, you know, we want that to be there. And then we also want to reject all these other ones that I have done. So we can click next, or we can click into it, reject, 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 reject. Let's make sure that and some of these there's extra ones because like maybe I put in a different period, like I put in a period because after I deleted it, I deleted a space or something. So we're just going to go through here and we're just going to make sure that everything that I deleted is gone. We reject these and we reject these, and now we're done. I think we hit next, it'll say, oh, these are just like little places where I put in periods and stuff. We're not going to worry about that. So the last thing we want to do here, though, is delete the comment. There's a few different ways is we can go into the comment itself. It's probably the easiest way to do it and delete it. We can also go in here since there's only one comment in this document. Another thing you do is delete all comments. I'm just going to delete this one. And now there's the document. And so the changes, basically that one sentence we entered here is going to remain. And then the other things that we had done earlier, we reject because, you know, in this situation, we're just sort of thinking about, you know, we're editing a document that a few people have touched. And so we're going to go on. And what we're going to do is we're going to skip D5. It's just about sending an attachment. And I believe you can do that. So we're now going to go to D6. And here I am actually going to change the name of the file. Desktop. Go to my desktop and save it as policy manual revised 6. Go in here. This will be because we're going to be doing going to be selecting this document a lot, and so better to have it as the name it should be. Okay, so we've saved it, and now we're going to compare and combine different documents. And the first thing we're going to do here is to combine a couple. And basically what this is you will have 2 versions of a document that it will sort of merge together and create a new document based on the content that's in both. We'll see here in just a second. So we're staying here in the review area here. Did we need to track? I think we needed to turn track changes off. We did. Turn that off. Forgot to do that earlier. If you haven't, do it. And now we go to review, and then here is compare, and we will click the down arrow here, and now we're going to combine. And this is, we're combining an original document and then a revised document. This is the ones we're putting together. And so this first one, we also need to do a little bit more to this because we're going to use the More tab and select some options there. But first, we want to put in, let me just go find it. Go to the desktop. And there's policy manual 6. Click it open. That's my name. And then the revised document should be in your student handouts. It will be in your student handouts. Let's see, I have those for chapter 9. We're gonna go down and it is, what's this at? Revision 1. Click OK there. And it wants you to change the name to John Smith. You can leave it as Jill Murphy unless your name is Jill Murphy, because you just want to have the two different people's names. I'll go ahead and put John Smith, but as long as it's someone's name that is different than yours, you'd be a-okay. We'll go to more, and we will select word level, which we already have select, and show changes in original document. Sometimes it'll come in set as new. We're going to show the changes, and that kind of makes sense as a new document because you have the new you have your original, you have these revisions, and you'll do a completely new document to kind of see how it looks all together. This case we're just doing it. We're going to put it in the original. So we'll do that. We'll do less to collapse it. And we will click OK. And now we see these two sort of squished together. We see that, in here, John Smith has done some things. He's deleted where Chen has more info about these specialties. We worked so hard on that. But you can see that, right? And then you can, it's got what this other person has done to our document because we have already gone in and accepted all those changes. This sentence right here, and we've done that on our end. Here, when we're combining it, we're seeing what this other person's editing of that document looks like when you combine them together. And we've done it. So, okay. So on compare here, let's see, show source documents, and we want to hide source documents. These are already hidden. If we say show both, it's got this big, shows, here's the revision. Oh, wait, one of these is revision down here, the original, this is the new one, and these are the revisions. We don't want to look at all this. We just want to look at our new one. So we're going to hide those source documents, and we're going to come back here. And what are we going to do? I think we're just going to combine another one. So we have two revisions here, and excuse me. And we're going to go combine again. And in this case, we're still going to use Policy Manual 6 desktop. And in this case, we're going to go get revision 2, which is right here. We're going to open this, and again, we just want to have a third name here. He wants to do Brett Reynolds, so we will. And we will click OK. So now we have the changes made by both people who have, also edited this document. We've done that, so we've got all this here. So if necessary, choose review tracking, review pane, and review vertical. We already have that on, but I'm going to show you where it's at. So if you turn the review pane off, that goes away. You look at it, and there's horizontal and vertical, and here's the vertical one. And we can see the revisions, and we kind of match them as we go down and see what each person did. Click on it, and it'll take you to them. So we want to go down to the one where Brett has done something with the word attending right here. And if we click it, it goes there. It sits here at the top. And if we wanted to, we could click in right here and accept or reject the change. Here we just wanted to show us that once you click on the change, it will take you there. So we will click close at the top of the reviewing pane. Okay. And do Control Home. Come on. Control Home, and now it wants us to delete all the comments, accept all formatting changes, and accept all edits with all edits except for one exception. On page 3, John deleted a space before Appendix B and children. The easiest way to do that is to just, instead of doing next, 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 in this case, if it was a document you were editing the first time you'd see, you keep going next and next to make sure it's what you want to see. In this case, we know which one we want to delete, so we'll just go down there and find it. On page 3, let's see, it's page 3. What did John Smith? John Smith deleted this space. And so we're going to reject that change. Then we're going to go in and accept everything else. I'll show you how to do that. So here we've got this change selected. We're going to reject it. It goes away. It told us we wanted to accept everything else. So we will accept all changes and stop tracking. So that's just sort of now everything is all good to go. And then we also want to go in and it wants us to delete all the comments. We deleted all the comments. And now we're done. We have brought in changes to this document we were working on from 2 other people, in my case, Brett and John, and went through and decided whether we wanted to accept or reject those changes. So there you go. The last step here is, it just kind of shows you what compare looks like because we just combine those documents. Here we're going to compare. We'll show it here right quick. It works very similarly. So we will, also before I should mention that is that we should have saved that as D6 combined and closed it. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to save this as combo and save it because we're going to go in here and we're going to close this one. We're going to keep Word open and we're going to go back and we're going to reopen Policy Manual Revised. So here we are, and now we're going to compare. Back to that review tab. Compare, compare. And in this case, it's going to be the edited for no marks. So go here. And again, I mean, if I went here and chose it, it would be fine, but I just like choosing it. You know what? I will choose it from right there. And then this one, we actually have to go in because this is a new file we haven't looked at yet. And it's Alice, edited no marks, but Alice Jackson is supposed to be the person. So again, you can leave it Suzanne Frost. It doesn't matter. We just want to take a look at this. Yes. So this is, we click OK here because it's just saying that one or both of the documents has tracked changes. We know that we have tracked those changes and we have accepted them. So we're good to go. So we'll say yes. And then it just shows us again. It's just comparing them. This is not a new document. This is just showing us what that difference would be in our document, and we can go in and we can change them or not. So there you go. You see here where Suzanne Frost deleted attending in ours, it shows how she did it. But we don't have to accept these. We don't have to reject them at all. What's it wants us to do? It doesn't, we don't want to do it at all. That's it. You would save it and you'd close it. And that's the chapter. And that is, this is kind of a little bit of a brief overview, but it does show you the nuts and bolts of working on a document with more than one person, which you guys might already be doing some in your other classes. So that's the overview. Again, if you're using Google, it works a little bit differently, but the concepts are still the same. All right, enjoy, have fun, goodbye.